Put the bunny back in the box.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Oh my God! Just say no more!
I'm gonna do what you all think I'm gonna do, which is just flip out.
Get away from her, you.
Let me give you a British answer. It was my cup of tea.
No more foreplay.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Celluloid Cellar, a film podcast where two lifelong friends talk about movies and films and all such things like that. I'm your co-host, Cameron.
And I'm your co-host, Jack. Yay, cinema!
Yes, yay,
We're
cinema.
back. It feels like we haven't recorded in ages.
I think it's because we went through a big, hot time of doing like once every week.
Yeah, and then it's been 2 weeks now.
And so when it becomes 2 weeks, it feels a big gap. But I've missed you, darling.
I've missed you 2 times.
It's delightful to see your face.
I wasn't very
here.
well last week either. So,
No. It's actually risky holding your hand right now.
I'm no longer contagious. It's okay.
Okay, very good.
At least I hope not.
Very good. And I guess we should let the people know what we're talking about this week. I think it might surprise some people, but we're going to be talking about a film where Christopher Abbott is in some cold, dark woods getting quite angry about generational trauma. But haven't we reviewed The Wolfman already, Jack? Hey!
I actually think, hot take before we get started, I think this would have made a better Wolfman kind of vibe setting, everything. There's a moment in this film where I was like, if the wolf came out now and got him, I would have been like, this is brilliant. I think if this had been Wolfman, it would have been a million times better.
I still liked Wolfman when we watched it, but it wasn't amazing.
I actually watching this and seeing what they could have done is it made me think it could have been so much better.
Like, imagine if there was just a genre twist out of nowhere this.
But I think this one almost had that horror element to it.
It does at times.
And there's,
definitely
like,
the vibe.
this is one of the first films in which there's a point in it where I had to like pause it for a moment.
Yeah, it's very distressing.
So we're going to. We also want to talk about the kind of current topic. Well, it's kind of like a week late now, but
you'd mentioned
the tariffs coming out on filmmaking.
Oh my god! I didn't even research. I forgot. I knew you'd mentioned something to me, and I was like, I need to look into something, and I forgot.
But, well, I think we can talk about it vaguely. There's also one more thing I wanted to talk about, just purely because it's fun and trivia. But, Tom Hardy's Rider, or his trailer, got leaked.
Okay.
And I thought it's quite,
we'll do that. So,
okay.
I'll say the film we're actually reviewing is Bring Them Down. It's not Wolfman, starring Christopher Abbott and Barry Keoghan.
Christopher Abbott is incredible in the film as well.
He is. We will have timecodes below. It turns out Spotify is auto-generating timecodes, but I can't control them. I need to look at it this weekend.
AI is taking over.
So the AI, I can't edit it on my laptop, but it's adding it onto our feed anyway. So there will be time codes in the description that I post, and Spotify will have different time codes that I'll try and have to sync.
Does that mean Spotify's listening to the podcast?
Yeah, so Spotify does listen to the podcast.
We have another listener. Yes. Thank you, Spotify. Beauty.
We have 3 listeners.
Yes. Me, you, and Spotify.
Yeah. I will try and fix that. Do you want to do news? Because I don't think I've got an hour to say about.
No, let's do news.
Down.
We'll
do news and other things.
Yeah.
So we'll also talk. We'll talk Tariffs. We'll do Tom Hardy's Rider.
Yeah.
Shall we do Superman trailer?
Yeah, let's do Superman.
We'll do Superman trailer and Mission Impossible premiere / Tom Cruise on the BFI roof.
Yeah, that was weird.
Shall we start with that?
Yeah, that was weird. So I saw that on Instagram and I was like, it's not a very spectacular building to be on top of.
No.
It just looks like he's gone to some corner street building. Like, it's quite a grand building.
It's on the South Bank, so the only tall building like on the South Bank is the Shard, and then everything else is pretty
like
low
if you'd
key.
done it on top of like Wembley or Big Ben, or somewhere like you know what I mean, like Tower of London or something a little bit more, not just a fucking BFI building.
Yeah, it's a big dome.
Yeah.
I love that, like,
or the O2.
Or the O2. I'm going to just turn you down a bit.
Yeah,
you sound a bit loud.
Yeah, I do sound a little bit like a little bit moany. Oh, that was my beard on the microphone.
Maybe. Hang on. I will just futz with you for a second.
There we go.
Okay.
That's better.
That
Can
is
you hear me
better.
now better? Am I still
can.
getting a little bit?
I think it's a touch, but it comes through different anyway at the other end.
Tell me about it.
Oh my. Yeah, it's not. And I like that there were weird clickbait articles being like Tom Cruise on the city skyline. And it's like, he's on a fucking dome.
Yeah, it's not. I just thought
It's tall.
maybe the budget is a little bit less for the marketing this time round. I don't
Maybe.
think they're as confident.
He did more outrageous things to show that the Olympics was going to LA
Yeah.
than
Now
he did for this.
That would have been a good trailer.
That was spectacular.
Yeah, that
I
was
watched that like
spectacular.
5 times, that
Did you?
entire thing. Did that come out when I was still at my old job?
2024.
It came out last year. No, it didn't, but my old colleagues knew my love of Tom Cruise.
You do love Tom Cruise.
I do.
What's your view on Top Gun Maverick then?
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
great. Better than the original.
Yeah, very much.
By miles.
But you love Mission Impossible.
I do. I think I can't wait for this one.
rank your Mission Impossible films.
We'll never get through the news. I've not seen 2.
Yep.
I will go from bottom to top.
Yep.
I'd actually put 1 at the bottom.
Ooh.
Or 3.
Ooh.
I think I'll go 1, 3, 7,
Yep.
5, 4, 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the
6 is my favourite. By
weakest
miles.
to me is 1. Just in
Yes.
terms of it's not as fun, it's more espionage.
Yeah.
Then I love 2. 2 has got a place in my heart.
You like 2 more than 1.
But
2's
then
like
2
meant to be so bad I've never watched
no,
it.
2 is still. It's John Woo just being John Woo.
Yeah.
You know, it's silly fun. Sit down with your mates, have a few beers. When
We'll watch it.
yeah, we'll watch it with a few beers. Then maybe we should review it. And then you're gonna hate me.
Oh my god.
Then
Oh, you don't like 7?
yeah, then 7.
Yeah, that's fine.
Then 3.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing 3 in the cinema with my dad.
Yeah.
Then it would be 5.
Yeah.
Then 6. Then 4.
Okay. Nice.
I like Ghost Protocol so much.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
It's like the one that I think that was the first one I saw in the cinema, and I was like,
It's
"This
Brad
is
Bird, isn't it?
fucking brilliant." Yeah.
But I think that's the one that really rejuvenated the series.
Yes, it is.
It really kind of it was like Fast 5 in terms of its.
It was, and I think people were tired with 3, but in retrospect, have come to appreciate it a lot more.
And it's got Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Especially Philip Seymour Hoffman and his big sweaty run.
Yes.
Have you seen
Yeah,
that he's
yeah.
actually like running
Yeah.
like 16 miles an
Yeah.
hour or something? Yeah,
And
he's
the
pacing it.
rigging of the camera as well on it is
Yeah.
insane.
Did
like-
you might have sent me that clip?
Yeah,
the behind
yeah,
the
I think
scenes
I
for it,
did.
Yeah,
It is mental how long that must have taken to rig
yeah,
and the speed he's getting. Because I even remember when I watched it as a kid, I'd have been 9,
yeah.
and I was sat there and I was like, wow, he's running.
It just keeps going.
Yeah, like he just goes and goes and goes and goes. So he's what, quarter of a mile, isn't it? He has to run.
Something like that.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
just going.
The rig for it, shooting on film
Yeah.
as well.
You
yeah.
fucked that up.
Yeah.
Just some extra in the way. Sorry.
Yeah,
But,
madness.
yeah.
Anyway,
So when is it released? Is it next week?
Next week, 21st of May. I'm seeing it early at the IMAX with my mate, and then we'll review it next week. We'll schedule it.
Yes.
in. But weird, unimpressive stunt for it.
Yeah, for Tom Cruise. But then again, rumor is this is the last one.
It is the last one. Yeah.
Yeah. And apparently he's kind of slowing down the action films.
Yeah, I think that's.
But I think that's fair.
I think that's right. He's 60. He's going to be
Really?
63 this year.
Still looks absolutely insane.
Oh, looks brilliant.
I am
And
very excited
very
to see what the
active.
next era of Tom Cruise is.
So am I. I hope he plays like weird, sinister villains.
Well, I hope.
Imagine if he has like a bunch of John Lithgow-esque
Yeah,
roles.
that
Yeah.
would be. Have you seen? Have you ever seen Magnolia?
Yes.
Oh my god, he is insanely good in that film.
This is it.
It-
People
I've-
forget
I've
how good of
never-
an actor he
I've
is.
never not
Yeah.
rated Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He makes Rain Man the film it is because he's so good in that
Yeah.
role. He is like A Few Good Men.
I've not seen it. You knew before I'd even said. Yeah,
Yeah.
you remembered from the
I remembered.
Demi
But-
Moore conversations.
It is, but Tom Cruise has always been class. You see him in like even like a film that I don't think is that great, like The Last Samurai. He's insanely good in. I mean, look at him in Tropic Thunder. He rocks up,
Yeah.
he steals the show with his fat hands
Yeah, exactly. And
and his Diet Coke.
he always commits.
Yeah, and
I-
I know he's got a quirky religion.
I was gonna say, forget about
Yeah,
it.
like he is your old school idea of. He is a movie star. I'm not worried about what he kind of.
yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
It
like-
could come out that he's done like genuine horrific crimes, and I'd be like, from a from a film from
Yeah.
a film history point of view, you
So is
can't
everyone.
take him out.
No.
So is everyone. But you can't erase him. You can't erase
Yeah.
his contributions to cinema.
No,
It's like Hitchcock was a bad bloke, but you can't
you
take
can't you can't
you can't disassociate
Yes.
him from the narrative of cinema
Yeah.
because without him we wouldn't have Mission Impossible because there'd be no
No.
De Palma and
No.
there'd be no Spielberg.
It's a bit like, I would argue still, you there are a lot of people that you look at stuff like you can't say that. Okay, let me make it very clear.
Yeah.
Harvey Weinstein is a horrendous
Bad
person.
man.
Bad man. But some of the films that he was involved with that other people
Yes.
made are incredible.
Criminal, yeah.
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 No,
He's a criminal.
Yeah,
but,
are incredible though.
But then like
Like, you look at-
Tarantino,
yeah,
Scream
yeah,
brought back the slasher in
Yeah,
the 90s.
yeah. yeah. I mean, you even look at like some of Kevin Spacey's work. You cannot say that he was not an incredible actor. Horrendous person,
Mm.
but an incredible actor.
Yeah, exactly.
But Tom Cruise is slightly different. I
Yes.
don't know.
It's
like,
it's more of a religious thing. The
Yeah.
religion itself has questionable motives
Yes,
and morals.
and the
very
leader's wife
questionable.
has definitely
Yes.
been knocked off and taken somewhere allegedly.
His wife.
It's on the last podcast on the left. They talk about it.
What, Katie Holmes?
No, not Tom Cruise's wife.
Whose wife?
The leader of Scientology.
Oh, L. Ron Hubbard's
No,
wife.
not L. Ron Hubbard, the current one.
The current one.
I can't remember his name.
Oh, yeah, look, they're weird. They're
They are
really weird.
And apparently, if you're in, then you can't get out.
But we disassociate
Yes,
it.
yes.
You can't disassociate him from cinema, but you can disassociate him from his religion.
I can look blindly in certain places.
Yes, I can.
Yes.
I can close one eye, but not the other.
Yes.
Anyway, shall we carry on with the
Yes.
rest of the news?
So the news is that Donald Trump wants to put tariffs on films that are not made within Hollywood. Now,
100% tariff.
yes, 100% tariffs. Now, we are not mathematicians, so we don't know what that means in terms of numbers, but
So you charge them double?
yeah, you charge them double for bringing a film in.
Mm.
In the UK, recently, in the last 10, 15 years, the UK's film industry has boomed in terms
Yes.
of the studios and things like that because the UK offered, I believe it was 25% tax incentives. So they would give you 25% back of the tax you paid on stuff.
Yep.
Which obviously is a lot of money when you're spending 150 million on a film
Yeah.
on Star Wars or
Or-
Marvel
yeah.
or something like that.
Every studio was booked for 5 years. I
Yeah.
believe in like 2019, obviously the pandemic
Yeah.
happened, but Force Awakens came back to shoot
Yeah.
here because there was the cultural significance of Star Wars 77 shooting
Yeah, yeah.
here. But then it's also because we've talked about it before, like amazing tradespeople,
Yeah.
things like that in the UK.
So the British kind of filmmakers are seen to be some of the best in the world, aren't they?
Yes,
Yes.
they are.
And
If-
I always love
If
like
you want good craftspeople
Yeah.
to just get stuff done, obviously there are brilliant experts out in Hollywood as well. But if you'd like something high end and done on time, and quick show and not too much fuss.
have a director who's ready and right, governor, boss, when you're ready, like film and action.
Yes.
Yeah, it's I do love kind of like the whole kind of vibe of it all and how it's old school still.
Yeah, it's a weird mishmash of like incredibly posh people and very working class
Yeah.
people as well, the film industry in the UK. But yeah, there's all of that. So that means that the 2 Avengers films,
Yeah.
Avengers started, Marvel films first shot in the UK, and then Pinewood, Atlanta was built, which has now changed its name. So all of their productions were out there for quite a long time.
Because isn't there a studio in on the M4 that's recently been made?
Yes, the Shinfield Studios by Reading. Yes.
Yeah.
Because everything was so booked up. That's got like 13 stages, I think they've built.
Wow.
It's huge. It's massive. And it's close-ish to Heathrow, so easy to fly people in.
So do you think the studio in Reading might potentially get a hit then? Do you think they'll be
By the
panicking?
tariffs?
Yeah.
No, I doubt it.
Because apparently, though, the problem is California has become so expensive to film in.
So that's originally why people went out there in the first place, was
because it was cheap.
It was cheap. And then lots of sunlight as well. So back when you needed tons of light all the time, you got amazing weather to shoot all year round.
Yeah.
That's another reason to do it, so that you can continuously keep producing things. There are other cities in the US that became like film places. So Vancouver was the 3rd biggest film city in North America for a long time. I don't know if Atlanta's taken it over now.
Vancouver's in Canada, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
North American continent. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Atlanta, Georgia had a bunch of, like the UK, lots of tax breaks.
Yeah.
And so you'll see the peach at the end of a lot of shows and things, the Made in Georgia sign. So, of course, the Walking Dead was like the first big thing because it's also set there.
Yeah.
And they shot on location. But all of the Marvel stuff has been getting made out there for ages until Downey Jr. was like, I want to film in London for the Avengers. Christ!
Sorry,
it's the most noise I've ever heard from that microphone.
I wanted to move it down slightly.
I'm so sorry to everyone's ears.
So, because I know, for example, Breaking Bad was filmed in New Mexico purely because of the tax breaks.
Ah, okay.
I think they got 25% there or something.
Yeah, and then the location becomes a big factor of it.
Yeah.
Whereas, when you're shooting in a studio, I believe Fantastic Four shot in the UK as well.
Yeah, I think so.
It did, because the Thing, whatever his name is, was like Ebon Moss-Bachrach.
Yeah.
Was like, oh, they've recreated like a downtown New York street.
Yeah.
Here
hopefully they did it better than they did in Havoc.
Yeah, I think it was better than Havoc. But I don't know what the tariffs will actually mean for our industry. I think it will be one of those things where he's announced it. Maybe it will then be backpedaled, or it doesn't progress any further. It's like when he announced all of his other tariffs, and then everyone, it was changed.
Yeah,
just to screw over China.
I really hope it's just him being an idiot and coming out and saying stuff.
I think so.
He's saying that Hollywood is dying rapidly, and it is.
Yeah,
I do agree. Hollywood is struggling, but the problem is California is so expensive. That's not going to change. I think what California wants to do is bring in some tax incentives. I've read that the mayor wants to bring in tax breaks.
Yeah.
To bring people back to film in California, because the problem is it's like a mining town that no longer has mining. It's a dead town. And I think
it was oversaturated. Yeah,
and I think that is the problem now with Hollywood is there's no more coal to mine.
No, exactly. It's also a thing of like, it's not so much, the model needs to change.
Yeah,
well.
The budgets need to change.
Yeah.
The budgets need to come down massively.
That's it. You can't carry on when Hollywood was the hub of production in the 90s, 80s, things like that. The budgets were very different, and so was the model and release schedule of what it is today.
Yeah.
So,
but it just shows when you see a film like Godzilla -1 that, now I've not seen it all, but I've seen
it all. It's great.
Yeah,
it's really good.
But its scope is so vast.
Yeah,
and it's and it's not any smaller or any different to Godzilla versus King Kong or anything like that.
Yeah,
it's similar kind of level to that. If not, it looks better.
Massively.
Yeah,
it looks incredible. Like, looks just like an amazing looking film.
Yeah.
Not even taking into account the budget, which I believe was
budget-
$18 million.
I think it was 15. I've read.
Okay, even less.
It might be 18, but that's kind of what I've completely forgotten that the Substance was made for.
Yeah.
And when you look at that and you go, oh, The Substance is such a low budget, like dirty little comment on Hollywood and society and fame, and you're like, hang on a minute, why, like?
Obviously, there's like fees and things that certain
I understand.
actors have, and
but I think actors are gonna have to start taking less fees.
yeah, and
Like-
and that's to do with also like how much goes to agents and stuff. One of our friends, Eric Roberts, as he said, has to work all the time, and he was like, we barely break even. Like, I'm a working actor who's working like sometimes 3 films in a day. But you don't
so
they do end up taking less fees, and there's no money coming in from back end stuff anymore because there's no more DVD sales. There's going to be.
I do think that is a big thing that Hollywood.
They've sorted it, so they now have the streaming residuals.
But that's going to take a long time to come through, isn't it?
It will. They'll probably, because that deal that the Writers and Actors Guilds struck.
Yeah.
Last year, was it? Or was it the year before?
2023.
2023.
Yeah.
I believe it only lasts for 2 years. So
What?
I think they only last for 2 years, and then they'll go on strike again. So get ready for another just absence of time. Anyway, you mentioned Tom Hardy at some point and Havoc.
Yes.
So his rider has leaked online. Have you got it up?
So,
available?
Now the sources are not amazing.
Okay.
Like it's like Unilad, the Daily Mail, things like that. Basically, apparently, someone tried to send Tom Hardy's rider to a agent or someone like that, or like a production assistant, something like that.
Is this his on-set rider or his press rider?
So his on-set rider, I believe.
Okay.
Sorry, so it was meant to have been sent to Pete Hislop, but it was who is a production manager, but it was sent to Pete Hislop, a 31-year-old IT worker from London.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the first thing we've got on here is 60 strawberry ice cream vapes.
60.
What I love is Tom Hardy is a man who's probably got a fair few million in the bank.
Yeah.
But he is still a man of the people and likes a disposable vape. What a boy.
Trash. Buy a reusable vape. Buy a reusable vape.
He's just popping into like Morrison Daily. Yeah, can I get the 2 for £10, please?
Oh my God.
Hit me up, boss man. So that's one. The next one I was slightly confused by, an IV drip. Strange.
Incredibly strange.
Yeah, maybe it's for hydration. Apparently, I have heard that is a big thing in LA though. Or not LA, in America, in certain parts.
For hydration?
People going for IV drips to like hydrate, like do the body. Like if you've been out on the booze all night long, or like, you know, you've been doing it up the
Doesn't
schnoz.
Oscar Isaac do that in Ex Machina? At some point, maybe.
Yeah.
I
think it is a thing that a lot of like people that want to be younger and energized and stuff like that do.
Why don't you just drink
Maybe
water?
that's where we're going wrong.
Just drink water. I think we're doing perfectly fine. I think the fact that we're not IVing ourselves
is a sign.
A sign. I think, you know, we're actually doing okay.
You've got then you've got a lavender diffuser to keep them calm.
That's cute. That will mix well with the strawberry ice cream flavour in the air.
You don't need that. You got it anyway.
You've got it anyway.
I can imagine.
You're your own diffuser.
Yeah, I can imagine Tom Hardy can chong away on her.
I bet he does one in one fucking puff.
Yeah. Fuck off. Dog poop bags.
Yeah, he loves his dog.
He does love his dog. Dog bowl.
Yeah.
Xbox Series X. A printer. A Bose speaker.
A printer. No, it doesn't.
But do you reckon it's like one of those shitty ones that's like, and it comes out really slowly?
Yeah.
I reckon he wants
He's got a dot matrix printer.
Yeah. Oh, I will admit, I do love a quick printer. A slow printer is the worst thing in life.
I fucking hate my old printer.
Yeah.
Awful.
Oh, God.
HP.
And then you'd always have to get the ink, and you'd get the wrong ink, and then it would be and then it would run out.
And you can buy the off-brand ink, but they go,
Yeah.
actually, you shouldn't buy off-brand ink because it's not going to be as good, and actually the cartridge is going to reject it. Fuck off, it's ink.
I don't care.
It shouldn't
It's
be
ink,
that
yeah.
expensive.
It fucking shows that I can write my dissertation out and print it. Like, I
Yes.
don't care.
Christ.
Actually, I didn't have to print off my dissertation. I
I
just sent
can't
it in via
remember it.
email.
I don't think I had to do mine. I think I had to stop printing stuff in second year.
Yeah, no,
I think that happened to
second
us,
year, yeah, same.
Yeah.
Then, so a Bose speaker, a kettle, a toaster, tomato and chicken soup, a coffee maker.
How many tomato and chicken soup?
it doesn't
Just the
really
one.
say. Yeah,
just the one tin.
Just one tin. I don't think he has it in tin, does he? He probably has it in like an M&S thing. Now, it says low alcohol lager now. Another article I read that had this in said that it was M&S low alcohol Czech lager.
Oh.
Because I think he's teetotal. Or clearly not if it's low alcohol.
Yeah.
Galaxy chocolate, highlighter pens, jiu-jitsu mats, and Haribo sweets.
And that's it?
Yeah, that's all that I can say.
That's
on that.
bizarre.
Yeah.
If it's like a touring rider, which like musical or acts and comedians have,
yeah.
that actually comes out of their budget.
Does it?
That comes out of their pay
Oh, wow.
when they have a rider. But it's like it's so that it's there and all set up and they're comfortable once they get in.
Yeah.
Like having minimal faff. But yeah, that comes. They end up paying for their rider. So I don't know if that's, all coming out of his bank.
I can't imagine
or
that come
not.
out of his.
Yeah, if
I
it comes
imagine
off
that
his
it's-
salary.
Yeah, I imagine there'd be an agreement that, there's going to be X, Y, and Z in because I read somewhere that it was like that he wanted there was a certain body wash that he wanted, and it was like 25 quid a pop. Can't remember where I found that.
I'm not paying for that out of my
Yeah,
salary.
Fuck off.
I've got to go do my Elmer Fudd accent.
Yeah.
I'm Eddie Block. I'm a reporter.
Have you seen?
I need my £25 body wash.
He is quite good in Mobland, I will admit.
Okay.
Although,
Yeah,
I
he's still good.
Yeah, he is
his
still
accent's
good.
bad, but he's
yeah,
still
his
good.
accent's bad. Yeah, no, I can't find the one I originally found. But yeah, I just thought it was quite funny that, he's... The main thing that I took away is he wants his 60 vapes.
It's like a teenage boys.
Yeah. I want my toaster. I want some soup.
Want my Xbox Series X.
Yeah, I want this. I want my dogs to get his food, some poop bags.
I've got to have my jiu-jitsu mat so I can do my rolls. I couldn't do a roll on a half floor. I'd hurt my back.
Yeah. Oh, he did say as well that his knees and stuff are fucked from jiu-jitsu and stunts.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
Also,
as well.
do you think he looks different in the last 4 years?
He looks quite different in the press. We spoke about this in Havoc. He looks different in the press to what he does in the film.
Yeah,
He looks a little ragged.
Yeah, his face looks thicker.
Yeah.
Even in Mobland, he looks fuller. I don't know if he's had work done.
Maybe
or-
instead of water, he's getting thick fluid. He's getting
Yeah,
gel
he's
pumped
getting
into him.
gel pumped
He's getting
into
his body wash. He's getting his £25
Fucking
body
hell.
wash and
It was like
IV'd
a
into him.
peppermint, or no, pepper or something. One. It was like I
Oh,
don't know.
stingy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
But yeah, I looked it up and I saw it was 25. Because I was like, oh, I wonder what he used. Maybe I can say I use the same
Yeah.
body wash as Tom Hardy. And I was like, fuck that.
He's not a Radox man.
Yeah, mate, I'll stick to my fucking £1 a pop thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Does hair.
You've got the one that does everything.
Yeah, it
It's
does,
like a Wallace and Gromit invention
Yeah.
of the body wash.
does from top to bottom and everywhere in between.
There we go. Strange. You get to that level of rich. Obviously, we talked about Tom Cruise as well, but you get to that
Yeah.
level of rich and famous where you can just be fucking mental.
Well, I
And
think,
people just abide it.
yeah, I do think there are certain people that still like Tom Hardy, still a man of the people. He still likes his, disposable vapes and stuff like that. I know that sounds silly, but he's still got his toaster and things like that.
But the demand, I
yeah.
guess the demand of it all.
But I can't
I find it
imagine Tom
bizarre.
Cruise using a toaster. I don't know why. I just can't compute.
No, I
Tom-
can't see it.
I
Tom
can't-
Cruise probably hasn't touched bread in, 30
well, yeah,
years.
Yeah, if you look at him, he probably doesn't even know what a carbohydrate is.
Exactly, yeah.
Or if it is, it's measured within a millimeter.
Yeah.
But you can kind
There
of
is one grain of rice too many on this plate of chicken and rice and broccoli.
How am I meant to do my stunts.
How am I going to do my stunts?
Do you know what? Actually, the one stunt that impresses me the most is in Rogue Nation. Right, when he's tied to that post and he's got his hands above his head.
Yes.
And he I don't even know
He does
how
like
to
his ab
explain.
body roll to get off
Yeah.
and unhook
He
himself.
flips himself. I don't even know how to explain what he does. He holds himself horizontally and pings himself
He
up.
does a caterpillar move.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the caterpillar dance move.
Yeah.
He does that in the air from his back with just his arms being the support.
I can't imagine top when I say this, I mean it in terms of they're the best gymnasts in the world. I can't imagine the top male gymnast from China could do that kind of move. They're the best gymnasts in the world. They're looking at it going, how the fuck is a 55-year-old American
when he filmed
guy?
that, he would have been 50.
2015, 50,
Yeah.
52,
52, yeah. A couple of years.
If I'm still standing and able to run at 52, I'll be happy.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah.
I actually do think about that quite often when I think about people's physiques. And did you ever? You may probably never watched it, but you remember the Arrow TV series?
Yeah.
In the pilot
didn't watch
episode
that.
for that, Stephen Amell, who plays Arrow, he's
Yeah.
doing pull-ups, but he does pull-ups and then he goes, "Huh," and he chucks the bar onto an extra level.
Yeah, no,
Have
I've
you
seen that. Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Is that the actual actor doing it?
I think it might be. But
See, I always wonder how
that's
these actors
so
keep
incredible.
their physiques. It's you look at Sean Penn though, but he's just a dirty, he looks like an alcoholic, constantly smoking, has the body of a god. He's abbed up to fuck.
Who could say? Who can say what magical substances they have allegedly
It
to
must
help
be
them?
something. I mean, Sean Penn
IVs.
looks like a scrotum with muscles.
His face is leathery.
Yeah, he rocked up. I think it's probably 10, 12 years old now. But there's an interview that he's doing, and he's just sat there on this late night chat show, and he just whacks out a packet of fags and just starts smoking.
On the chat show.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And he's just there smoking away, just doesn't care.
Yeah. He's still got the body that he had for The Gunmen. Terrible film.
Yeah, awful. I watched it a little while ago because I thought it can't be that bad. It is that bad.
It really is bad.
It's horrendous.
Terrible film, but he's still somehow got the body from it.
Yeah, I don't, because he got his kit off a lot in that.
Yeah.
He
was showing off the rig.
Yeah, he showed off the rig as much as possible. There's a point in it where he's got his bulletproof vest on, but just the bulletproof vest on.
Yeah, and he's got his guns.
And he does look kick-ass.
He's got his guns and his guns.
Yeah. He looks hard as fuck in it, but I'm like, what, man, why?
Yeah.
Just why? But I think he had broken up with Robin Wright Penn at that point. Is it Robin? Yeah, Robin Wright at that time. So maybe
she's no longer Robin Wright Penn.
She's no longer Robin Wright Penn. So maybe he was just hello, lady.
Just showing off.
Because I think he dated Charlize Theron for a bit after.
Similar type.
Yeah. Very much. Kind of 10 years difference, but very much similar.
A newer model.
On that, going back to the name Cameron.
The new iPhone.
For fuck's sake.
Slimmer. Tighter curves. Modern design.
But apparently Tom Hardy will be doing the next Mad Max film.
Will he?
Yeah.
Well, that won't come out for 20 years.
Yeah, he'll be 70 by the time.
Will Charlize Theron be in it as well?
I don't know.
They didn't get on too well.
No, they didn't get on too well, apparently. But that was filmed. So despite the fact the film came out 10 years ago, which is mental.
Yeah, they filmed in 2012, didn't
Yeah,
they?
2012.
Yeah.
It took 3 years. Because I remember we were still in school and then I was at university when it came out.
Yeah.
Or college.
I remember seeing it, an image of it in Empire magazine and being like, oh, I love Tom Hardy. I can't wait to see it. Because, era of Dark Knight Rises
He hadn't really
coming
done much
out.
at that time either, had he?
Yeah, we knew him.
Yeah, we knew him. He was very big, but he
was on his way up.
Yeah, he had done... So he kind of was very big because he did Bronson, then he did Inception, and then it was released that he was going to be...
He did Warrior and Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, and Warriors. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've not seen it, have you?
New. Shall we?
Let's talk
on-
about
what's-
Bring Them Down. Oh, sorry.
Did we have? Do we want to do Superman trailer?
Yeah, go on then. Talk about the Superman trailer.
Came out yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't realise it was a trailer. I thought it was like a fake one, but
No, the one
Yeah.
you've seen the whole 3-minute one.
yeah.
I can't wait. I love it. I love the interview section at the beginning, like him leaning forward and going, "When go watch the trailer." But they're going to do. He's like, "Oh, you should interview me as Superman," because Lois knows that he's Clark Kent in this version,
Yeah.
which I think is a more interesting dynamic that we haven't seen. We saw it a bit in the Snyder one, but like,
We'll forget about the Snyder one.
not
The
as-
Snyder one is just kind of,
yeah,
you know, like when people go through their like goth phase.
yeah.
I feel like that's done and dusted.
Basically, yeah. But she's like, "Oh," he's like, "You should interview me as Superman," and Lois Lane's like, "All right," and it's like a sort of jovial thing, and he leans forward, and you see like the glint in his eye change as he leans, and instead of calling her Lois, calls her Miss Lane, but then she actually interviews him because she's
Yeah.
a fucking good reporter, and that's like the whole point of Lois Lane is that she's a tough dog. I don't know. I really liked it. I was grinning like an idiot. I watched it twice.
The first trailer that came out, I was like, "This is going to be amazing."
Mm.
I think it will be very good. I'm just curious to see. I don't want to see any more now. I just want to go and see it.
Yeah,
The
I don't want to see
only
any more
thing
after that.
Worries me is, are they going to have too many characters?
So I saw James Gunn, he said something about this a while ago, and I do think there's the potential for it to be crowded, but he was like, people were like, "There's too many superheroes in this," and he was like, "This is a film set in a world full of superheroes. There are other films that have a lot of characters, and people don't go, like, there's films set about a police station, and people don't go, there's too many cops." Like,
Yeah, but I think the difference there is my argument to that, my being devil's advocate is,
yeah.
You've not got all that kind of like backstory to them and stuff like that. It's a different kind of.
But you don't necessarily need it. It's like
No,
you can have characters and their powers like without having to go into their full origin.
It just depends what you do.
things.
Like, look at Lord of the Rings, which is a series that we will come to soon.
At some point.
I'm putting it out here.
Yeah.
We will. I want to do it sooner rather than later.
Yes.
Or at least the first one. I think we might do them over a period.
Yeah.
But you look at Lord of the Rings, and that has loads of characters, but they all kind of have their moment.
They all
and
have their. I think everyone will get their moment, but you don't get backstory for every single person in Lord of the Rings, do you?
No, but you don't need to.
And I think that will be the case here. I don't think you need to know like every single thing about Guy Gardner, Green Lantern.
Hey, I'm just
stuff.
looking forward to seeing Crypto.
Yeah, I mean the dog is good.
I cannot wait to see the dog.
He's so adorable.
I mean, the fact that someone's actually gone for it.
Yes, that
And-
they've gone for it, and he also based it on his own piece of shit
Yeah,
dog.
yeah.
Like that, he's not like a perfect good boy. He's an absolute rat bag.
I don't know what it is about in the trailer. The fact that he whistles and he comes,
Yeah,
and like he's running so quick that like all the snow's disbanding. Part of me was like, yeah, go, you
Yeah.
go. Like,
I loved it in this trailer. Crypto just lying on his chest and looking in his eyes.
yeah.
Just
I
good
I
stuff.
just hope it's going to be. I think the kind of Superman film we need. As
Yes.
we need in for cinema, but also for
As society.
society. Is it's not the dark doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Snyder
for
one.
all of the posturing and the talking about hope that Man of
Yeah.
Steel had,
It was depressing.
It's so miserable.
Yeah, like you've
Like-
got like Matey Boy from Law and Order Special Victims Unit going
Yeah.
like talking about an honourable death and like offing himself with
Yeah,
like one of the bad guys'
Yeah.
minions, and you're like,
yeah, that
hang on
he's
a-
sort of got the hots for as well.
yeah, and you're
Hmm.
like, what's going on here? Like, I don't really want to be seeing that in a Superman film.
Yeah, whereas like
he
this,
saves everyone.
whereas like this one, like even in the trailer, like dude helps him up like in a fight,
Yeah.
and it's like, I don't know. I just watched it and I was just like,
The only
I felt hope.
my only one kind of nitpick
Mm.
is the fact that Superman can not be killed by bullets.
Yes.
Cannot be killed by virtually anything. Okay. But a cannon is thrown at the back of his head and he flinches. And in my brain, I'm like, if he's flinching at a can being thrown at the back of his head, what would he do if a bullet was shot at him? But do you know what I mean? I know I'm nitpicking, and I know I'm being like, well, actually, I think I'll find, you know, but
It's
do you know what I mean, though?
it can be read as an emotional flinch. It can
It's not, though, is it, Cameron?
yes, but it doesn't mean he doesn't feel.
Yes, but you know,
Like, I mean, I guess it also, like, yeah, his pain threshold is low, but it's like,
his low don't mean very high.
sorry, yes, it's very high, but it
Yeah,
doesn't
but
mean
then
you can't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but then again, so if he gets shot next time, then he's going to be like, my God, I've been shot.
he was probably not thinking about it. Like, you know, he flows into a battlefield, he knows he's going to get shot. He's just walking through. He doesn't know he's going to get a can hit him.
Am I being nitpicky?
That is quite nitpicky. That's like, I feel like you've seen some articles or like
No,
posts.
I've genuinely not. I've genuinely not.
It feels like
You're
saying,
hand
like,
on heart.
yeah.
Hand on heart, have not.
it sounds.
I saw that. Even when I watched it the first time, I thought, no, hang on a minute.
I didn't even think about it.
Maybe, yeah, but you're quite a fan of Superman, aren't you?
I do like Superman.
Yeah.
I have read, you know, a good few things.
Is
in the
Superman's
comics, and I
in
won't
Batman
go back for
Returns,
it.
isn't he?
He is.
Yes.
The Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight Returns, sorry.
He is. Maybe not the best interpretation.
Oh, why not? Why, Cameron? Tell me why.
Because, well, in this trailer, he's saying that he wasn't meant to be representing America or anyone in that kind of area, whereas he is a sort of pawn for the US government and Ronald Reagan in particular in The Dark Knight Returns, and is helping US troops abroad, whereas...
Which is what they do in BVS.
Slightly, yeah. It's like there are similar things, and I think this is like, you know, he is a free agent. It's like truth, justice in the American way. The American way is fucked, though. He's meant to be more of a Captain America, Steve Rogers kind of character, where if America's going wrong,
he will point it out.
He's pointing it out. He's a representation of what it should be and could be, not what it is. Yes. I don't think it's that some people really hate the Dark Knight Returns version of Superman. But yeah, he should be aspirational. He should be like this fucking, like just this beacon of hope, like of what you if you had that power, what you should do with it. Like,
yeah.
And I feel like that film.
I do think
this film is gonna.
I do think it
deliver
loses its point when you've got a Superman film and it's like kind of trying to. Like, Superman is the character that you show as being hopeful, that you show as
exactly
doing good, not just...
It doesn't mean he can't suffer.
No.
I think a lot of people go like, oh, but he's invulnerable. What's his weakness then? And it's like, well, emotions. Because he's not a fucking robot.
Because his planet got destroyed as a child.
Yeah.
He's not got a daddy.
Because he was brought up by loving adoptive parents.
Yes.
Like, and he's had to act his whole life. Like, he's an alien, but he's a human being. Like, physiologically an alien, but he's an adopted human. He's a man of two worlds. He's the man of tomorrow. And it's the man of tomorrow because it's what we should all aspire to be and do.
Oh, is that why he's called the man of tomorrow?
Yeah.
Not because humans are going to become that amazing soon.
No, it's because we should strive to be as good as him.
Wow.
The world would be a better place, and it can be in the future. It's hopeful, it's optimistic. It's why I like Star Trek as well, because it's like...
It's never like Star Trek.
You love Star Trek 2009.
I do love Star Trek 2009.
You love it.
Mainly for Zoe Saldana.
It's all about people working together to do good things.
I always thought it was about going and finding new places.
Well,
Space, the final frontier.
The original series is a little bit about what do we have in the Hollywood backlot that we can use to make an episode out of, and it's so they have 3 streets of gangster sets, so they go to a planet that's all gangsters.
Wait, I think I've heard about that. Wait, that's actually
That's a real episode, yeah.
So the planet is just gangsters.
The planet is based on Chicago mobland gangsters.
What? And that's just a planet.
It's a whole planet.
Human civilization has gotten to the point where
So what happens is a ship previously visited them, and left behind and visited them too early, in their civilization, and left behind one artifact that then tainted their cultural development.
Ideology.
And they left behind a big book called The Gangs of Chicago in the 1920s and 30s. And so they then based their entire society around gangsters. And so Kirk and Spock and Bones get involved in like a gangster turf war.
Wow.
And the gangsters all want to steal their phasers, and they're like, give us that shooter, eh? Give us that
shooter, eh?
Give us that powerful shooter.
Let's go to a speakeasy.
Yeah. You got the biggest sparkle that anyone's ever seen, and things like that. It's mad.
I just like I've seen a couple of episodes of original Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And I just look back at old TV shows and I'm just like, I just don't I see no benefit.
Original Doctor Who is far worse than original Star Trek.
Yeah, I just still
original Star Trek's got some, filmmaking behind it.
Wow.
It does. I
Have you watched all the
down
films?
this hill. No, I've seen none of the original films.
Isn't Wrath of Khan meant? No, Wrath
Yes,
of Khan
Wrath of Khan's the good one.
You know, I have a argument that I really like Star Trek Into Darkness.
I liked it at the time and I've not seen it since.
I saw it quite recently. It was on the telly and I thought it was really good. Benedict Cumberbatch is a very good villain.
I haven't seen it since. I can't give a modern opinion. I love Beyond. I think Beyond's brilliant.
Oh gosh, no.
You don't like Beyond?
No.
Oh, Beyond's like the one that's most Star Trek-y.
Yeah, no, that's why I don't like
Probably.
it.
I mean,
I like the first. I like 2009.
Yeah.
Love that film. I remember because we went and saw it together.
We did.
And because the screen broke.
You always say this, and I forget
Yes.
that the screen
Yeah,
broke.
the screen broke.
I've seen it. I saw it twice in the cinema, though.
Yes. And then, Beyond. I love it.
You don't love
not
it?
Beyond. Sorry, not Beyond. No, Into Darkness.
Wow.
Don't love Beyond.
Wow. Speaking of Star Trek,
Yes.
Star Trek Next Generation,
Yes.
Colm Meaney
Yes.
is in it. So let's get into Bring Them Down.
Can I give one more thing quickly before, because you mentioned something and it reminded me, gangsters and stuff.
Yes.
I rewatched Who Framed Roger Rabbit at the weekend.
Fantastic.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I did not realize how good it is. It is incredible. That is, to me, that is cinema that they do not make anymore. It is just
We said we were gonna do that, or we were gonna watch Chip and Dale when Naked Gun came out. But we could watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit as well, because Chip and Dale is very much inspired by it.
It's so good, and the animation is seamless. And Bob Hoskins, he was so good. I just love the opening as well, and then it cuts to cut. You're meant to have stars, not birds. I can do stars. I can do your stars.
I feel like
I'm going to my trailer.
Actually,
Hey, toots.
I think you could, if they ever did a remake, I think you could play both Bob Hoskins and Roger Rabbit. I don't know. I can't remember what Bob Hoskins' surname is. He's Eddie someone, isn't he? But I could see you playing both characters very
so
easily.
Good in that. He's so good.
Yeah.
Bob Hoskins was just he was a proper old school actor.
He was.
And he had the biggest glasses you've ever seen. Like you can see him he's rehearsing. He's got these big glasses. We'll move on.
Can he not
after
actually
this.
see then?
No, he couldn't see very well. He said I don't know what the film was that he did, but he did a film with Cher, and he was like the love interest with Cher. And but he could not see without his glasses. And he said the camera went, "Hey, look, there's 5 men in the room, and the only one that can't see is in bed with her." And you're like, what on earth? But that's old school. But yeah maybe That's worrying now when you talk about it like that.
Yeah, I can cut that if you'd like me to.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'll keep it in.
Yeah, keep
no,
it.
I'll cut it if you want. I don't mind.
See how it sounds.
Okay.
No, yeah, but Bob Hoskins was he was a good actor.
He was.
Have you ever seen The Long Good Friday?
No.
Pierce Brosnan's in that.
Brosnan.
He's so good in Mobland. He is good.
Brosnan's good. I don't
He's
know.
actually good.
Yeah.
I think he's having a renaissance.
The Renaissance.
Yeah, the Renaissance in his later years. It's always sad when it happens in their later years, isn't it? Because,
Well, it's going to happen at some point.
yeah. But
You don't want it to be too early because then you start lowering again.
I think-
Travolta had his and then he
Yeah.
started going down
now
again.
he's absolutely trash.
Yeah.
I think that happened to Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy seems to have gone through ebbs and flows.
Yes.
Whereas someone like Paddy
Depends how many
Considine,
vapes he pounds.
yeah, Paddy Considine, who's also in Mobland, is just class all the time.
But it never got too huge.
No,
Never got too big
no.
for his boots.
And also has, shown his artistic prowess with his directing.
Yes.
One day we should do Paddy Considine.
Tyrannosaur.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh gosh, it's hard.
Or is it Leviathan? Or
No,
does he do-
Tyrannosaur.
Who did? There's a Leviathan as well. That's quite miserable, I think.
I don't know that.
I'm not sure.
Tyrannosaur is the film where the lead character at the start of the film drunkenly kills his dog by stamping on it. It's
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds
it's-
really fun.
It's a lot, and then he befriends Olivia Colman, who's working in a charity shop,
Yeah.
and then Eddie.
She's got a terrible husband.
Played by Eddie Marsden.
Yeah.
Like that's three character actor English British kind of actors of the highest order
Yes.
and the highest kind of kitchen sink
Yeah.
verve, you
God,
could
that
say.
kitchen sink is full.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's full with blood, sweat, and alcohol.
Christ. Shall we, speaking of absolute miserable things,
Yes, shall we talk about?
shall we get into Bring Them Down?
Yes.
We will do non-spoilers, the plot, and then we will warn when there's going to be spoilers.
Yeah.
But there probably won't be a lot in non-spoilers,
No.
I can imagine.
Yeah, because it's very simplistic.
I will say as well, thank you very much to my friend Erin, who gave me a free movie trial. This is why we watched this.
Yes.
We were gonna watch stuff on Mubi. We will get to other things. Bryn, I
Yes.
know you want me to watch Perfect Days. We will watch Perfect
Is
Days.
Perfect Days the musical one?
No, Perfect Days is the Tokyo toilet cleaner.
Oh, I've not heard of that one.
Oh.
Ooh.
We'll get into it. But yes,
I
we
do
watched
love
Bring Them
Mubi.
Down. Mubi's cool. Mubi's a cool
Mubi
place.
Yeah.
So yes, we watched Bring Them Down.
Yes.
What do you think?
Firstly, the Irish language is beautiful.
It is. Actually, we'll kick off straight away. So, plot. Sheep farmers are having a miserable feud over rams. And I think that's as much as we'll say.
That is literally it, though.
That is literally it. But it's like
there's
so much
maybe-
drama over
There's
it.
maybe a tiny bit more in terms of basically
Specifics.
Yeah, specifics. One of the farmers wants to be able to pass through someone else's land.
Yeah.
To
Build holiday homes.
yeah, to build holiday homes because they're
You know,
diversifying.
not making money off of being a sheep farmer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's a father, and there's a guy, and his father is a ill health farmer.
Yeah.
But they look after their rams, their sheep, and they're always, from what we gather, they're very, very high quality
Yes.
animals.
Top
they look
dog.
they look after them
Top
very
sheep.
well. They're well bred, all this kind of stuff. And
Well, no, I think just leave it. I
Okay,
think literally say no more.
say no more.
But anyway, Christopher Abbott, an American actor.
I didn't. So do you know what? When I watched it, I thought, oh, maybe he did an American accent
Yeah.
in Wolfman.
Well,
no,
I thought
he's an American.
he's an American doing an American accent and speaking Gaelic Irish.
Yeah, doing an Irish accent, speaking.
Sorry, yes, yeah, correct.
Speaking Irish.
Yeah.
What I love is the Irish. They still swear in English. It's
Yes.
like they'll say like beautifully
Yeah.
Irish words, and they go "forking," and you're like,
Yeah, so
and it's also got Barry Keoghan in.
Barry Keoghan as well. I would say Christopher Abbott is fantastic.
Yeah, Christopher Abbott is insanely good in
and
this.
so is Barry Keoghan playing an Irish. He's very good at playing a simpleton.
Yeah, he plays a simpleton kind of like low life teenage son.
Yeah,
I think he's playing a lot younger than he is.
he's playing like at least 10 years younger, if not more than
I think he's playing like 18.
Yeah, because he's
18,
32.
19.
Yeah,
he's. This was filmed when he was 30,
Okay.
but it's still he's playing a lot younger.
he
than
can
he is.
play.
But he does it well.
He's really good. Like,
yeah, he plays the younger well. I don't. Maybe it's just because his character is a bit of a twat.
mm,
I didn't enjoy the moments with him as much as Christopher Abbott. I could have watched Christopher Abbott, the moments of him like walking through the fields with his dog
yes,
for hours.
yeah, great dog,
Great dog, great
really
kind
good
of,
dog.
Like, and it's a beautiful scenery that you don't normally see. Like,
Yes,
like I saw an interview with the writer, and he said, and I think he's writer-director.
yes,
Yeah.
Christopher Andrews.
Yes.
Chris
and
Andrews.
He said that he was on a walk with some people, like on like a guided tour or something. And they're walking through this kind of the beautiful scenery in which the film is set, and they were all there like head to toe in like waterproofs, specialist boots, like coats, thermals, all this stuff. And he said this bloke just walked through the mist with a dog in like a jacket that was weathered for like the last 5-6 years,
Yeah,
like a pair of jeans and some boots. And he said he just had like this almost heroic figure about him,
yeah.
and was like this mythical thing walking from the mist, who just knew who was like in touch with the land.
That's an amazing little story. I did want to shout out the costume designer Hannah Burry, because I thought everyone's Christopher Abbott's outfits, I was like, God, they look lush and warm and beautiful. His lovely sweaters and his wax jacket that you say it's aged.
Yeah,
It's
I think the
beautiful.
thing with this film is its beauty is in its simplicity.
Yes.
Like, as it was started, I thought, is this really kind of all that it's about? And then I thought, actually, that's what makes it amazing. It's like when you watch a film like, I feel like I sound like I'm talking a lot about Tom Hardy, but you watch a film like Locke, that's got very realistic, simplistic.
It's so simple.
Yeah, like he's organising getting cement dropped.
Yeah.
But he's also going to go and meet his baby.
You know,
illegitimate.
Life is confused for it, but
Yeah.
it's executed so simply. And then in this one, it's like not a lot is happening.
No,
but it's the most pivotal moment in these people's lives.
Yeah.
And it's just done. It's like it's such a minor thing. Some sheep are dead.
Yeah,
and it just spirals from there.
It does make you think as well. What are these people's day-to-day lives, and what causes them to respond in this way, like, and respond so?
Well, it's entire livelihood.
Yeah,
isn't it? Yeah.
But yeah,
and generational, because Cole Meany, who plays the dad, Ray, brilliant in it.
I was thinking this when I was
man.
watching it. He's one of those actors that can rock up in your straight to DVD kind of thing and just be a bit shit, but then he can be in a film like this and be incredible. Like in Layer Cake, he is incredible.
Yes.
In Con Air, he is serviceable. I'm
trying to think of like
Gangs of London. He's, you know, as good as he needs to be.
Yeah.
He's just one of those actors that is, you give him good stuff, he will be incredible.
Yeah. And I tell you what, he was very iconic as Chief Miles O'Brien in Star Trek for a very long time. I don't think I've ever seen him be bad in something. But
no, but I just mean in terms of he's in a fair few things.
Yes.
He is starting to get a little bit older now.
Yeah, but he plays an old, decaying man, ill person very well.
But I just think also having kind of
Go ahead.
No, what were you going to say?
Did you fucking clock that he was like dial-upping porn on his computer?
Yeah, I did notice that. Yeah.
I was like, what a horrible but brilliant detail.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing. But this film feels so lived.
Yes,
in that sense, like
it's not a horrible grey film. It's
No.
shot like the
Yeah.
colours are real.
Yeah.
It's still cinematic, but
And also, when it films at night, it's filmed at night.
yes,
Um,
it was shot on an Arri.
Is that digital?
It is digital. It was not.
Lovely.
It looked like it could have been filmed though. At points. It had
Yes.
like the good on the fluorescent lights in the barn. It had like the good halation. Is that the correct word?
Yeah.
Maybe it's very simple. It's not the most beautiful film ever, but Nick
I don't know. I
at
think
the start, the first shot's great
yeah.
with the Volvo
yeah.
going down the road.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's quite a pretty film.
It is pretty.
I don't think it's
but it's human.
Yeah,
it's-
I think it's kind of. I would describe a Mission Impossible film as being filmed from like up high. This
Yeah.
is filmed ground level with you,
Yes,
kind of getting up and kind of.
it's naturalistic, but it's not putting like a grey or an orange filter over it to make it look naturalistic. It is just
It's
how it
eerie
is
as well.
It is eerie. Nick Cook is the cinematographer.
Yeah, he does a very good job.
Yeah.
I think this, like I say at the very start of the podcast, if this had been, because I remember I watched it and I like got to 30 minutes and I was like, I need to go and get a drink, cup of
Yeah.
tea, something like that. And I thought, if this at this point turned into Wolfman,
Yeah.
I would be adoring this film.
Yeah.
Because there's a moment where he's like walking at night, isn't he?
Yes.
And he stops and has some food and stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, this would be the moment. Yeah, literally, I'd have been like, yes,
Yeah.
because it's on the hills, it's in the fields,
Yeah.
and like, it would have just been so good. Whereas
Wolfman was fine. It was fun.
the more I think about it, the more I'm like, it wasn't that good.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I remember enjoying it.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah.
But it's like,
I think with this film, I don't think it ended as well for me. I was really loving it at points when watching it, but then I think the ending, I've like thought about it since, and I don't know if I was just getting tired as well.
yeah.
But I was just like, it ended, and I was like,
What,
we've
yeah.
learned nothing new here.
I think
It's
that,
in
that,
the same position.
Yeah,
no one's grown.
I do think that is the one thing. It doesn't really have any. But then again, I think that is like true to life. When does life have any real, like, things happen?
Yeah.
Like there's like in this film when
Some people are lost
Yeah.
along the way. Yeah.
like the lead character, Christopher Abbott's character, does feel
Yeah.
very much lost in terms of
Lost and also stuck.
stuck. Yeah, I'd say he's stuck. I'd say Barry Keoghan is lost.
Yes. It just needs a hug.
Yeah. I think there are, and I think it shows kind of like how relationships breaking down affects people, but also I think it shows how people can do things without realizing the consequences, and how people can do terrible things without realizing the consequences.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like this film isn't. It's not violence top to bottom, but
When it's
there's-
violent, it's
when it has its horrible moments.
yeah.
Because I wouldn't even say them like it's just violent. They're horrific moments.
Yeah. Yes.
They are horrific.
Disturbing.
Yeah. Disturbingly so.
And you don't get the full context of it straight
No,
away. It plays out. I don't want to. I will say it more in spoilers, but there's a shift that happens where you start to get more explanations.
Yeah.
I really liked it to start with, like
Yeah.
getting more of these bits and pieces, but then it was just the conclusion. Just it was literally like the final 5 minutes. I was just like, oh,
It could have done with
Okay.
having a little bit more. If certain things had happened, I'd have been like, okay, boom, done, sorted.
sort
But
of.
it didn't.
It either needed to go like that next level. Like, have you seen The
Yeah.
Invitation on
Yeah,
Netflix?
yeah. Oh yeah, brilliant.
Where it's
Is that the one
it's
at the
building
end where there's like
Yes.
there's all the lights?
the dinner. Yeah,
Yeah.
the dinner party one. But for the final 20 minutes, it just goes.
Yeah.
Like you're unsettled the whole time. Whereas this had
Yeah.
like it had bits and dropping things along the way, like breadcrumbs of upset. You just needed it to either explode at the end, or
Yeah.
for it to be a more
Yeah.
happy resolution.
Yeah.
Not fully happy, but a
Like,
bit more like
It was
bittersweet.
telegraphed that there could have been a bittersweet ending.
Yeah.
And it was telegraphed that there could have been a horrific ending, but it just kind of like fell flat in the middle.
It did, yeah.
And yeah, but there's also a character decision that I didn't fully understand. But it's more
Ooh.
spoiler one.
Shall we get into spoilers then?
Yeah, I would give this film a 4, strong 4.
I was on 4, like watching it, I was on 4 because some of the scenes are so well executed in terms of like tension
Yeah.
and just like feeling it. But it, like the ending, I was then like, does it go to a 3 for me? I think I might go weak 4. I'm not sure. I can't say it's strong because I've said Nosferatu was like a strong 4, but I would probably now bump that to a 5. But yeah, it's
Yeah, I would
this is
say-
where numbers aren't always the best.
No, I think
I'd recommend it if you're more artistically inclined and like watching a miserable film.
thing is, I wouldn't say the and it shows how things have changed. I wouldn't say this is an art house film. I would just say it's a film about people. But
No, it's better. Yeah, it's not an art house, but it's not. It's not Marvel, is
yeah,
it? Yeah,
but
we could have reviewed Thunderbolts this
Oh,
week.
God, I'm so glad we didn't.
No, so am I.
But it's not one that you sit down just for a bit of entertainment. It's one that
No.
you sit down to feel a certain emotion.
Yes,
That being horror.
yes, and sadness.
Yes, horror, sadness, and I think questioning like what's the point? Because
And do you follow in your family tradition?
yeah,
and
because
stuff.
they follow in their family traditions. But what does it do? Does it make you an old sick man that watches porn on
Yeah.
your dial-up laptop? Still?
Exactly. Yeah. What are the sacrifices? Like the whole thing of like we
Yeah.
haven't brought him down in 500
We
years.
haven't brought them down in 500 years. Why would you
Yeah.
start now?
Yeah. Just, being an adult and still like being that age, but
Yeah.
still trapped by your terrible
Yeah.
father.
It's little details in the film though. Like, he eats that bread with the jam on.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's such a weird small detail. He has one slice of bread with jam on and that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
And he just like rolls it up as he eats it. Now I don't know if that's an actory thing to try and like eat less because the takes you do or what, but
I'm not sure.
it was weird.
Feels like it's just like I just need something. He's just like it's a routine. He just needs something. Yeah, like a character like script, like actor director collaboration. kind of thing. Shall we? I'll go week 4. For me.
I'll go strong 4. I think
There's some really brilliant stuff. I would
Yeah,
say,
I think the strong stuff I love, and yeah.
Spoilers from here.
Yeah.
It's Irish Rashomon.
Do you mean to say it's Irish Rashomon? What the fuck is Rashomon?
Rashomon is, we've talked about it before, is a Japanese film from the 1950s directed by, is it Ozu or is it Akira Kurosawa?
Akira Kurosawa.
Akira Kurosawa. All right, mate.
No, I do know Rashomon. It was mainly for the listeners.
Yes, where an incident is shown from 3 different perspectives.
Yes.
When different incidents, we talked about the Rashomon effect and how it was used in The Last Jedi. When Luke goes to kill Kylo Ren,
Yes.
and we see it played 3 different times with like different interpretations, with 1 being the truth and 2 being their different perspectives.
Yes.
This film, you follow Christopher Abbott for all of it until
We follow Barry Keoghan.
there is a shift because Christopher Abbott, it turns out the sheep weren't killed. Barry Keoghan's character stole them to then sell at market because he knew his dad was suffering with money and his parents were getting a divorce.
Yep.
The dad is then very resistant to give them back to Christopher Abbott. And so they start having like some horrible like back and forth, like
Tit for tat.
tense-
There's
yeah.
like a chase, isn't there?
Good car chase.
Yeah, it's one of those though where I always think they're driving a pickup truck with a trailer on, and he's driving a pickup. He could surely get away. And also,
But he's got an old rusty pickup and they've got a newer one.
Also, he's indicating to turn right, and then like because there's a turn off, and then just turns the other way. When you're in a car chase, you're not fucking indicating or
No,
following their indication.
That's a trick. He does it to.
No,
show
I
he's
know,
turning
but
right.
I'm just like, they're not going, oh, look, he's turning right. Follow him there.
I thought it was quite smart and funny.
But yeah, but either way, then they're like, their car turns over, doesn't it? And
Yeah. They get
trailer
injured.
turns over. They get
Yeah.
injured.
And so we follow Christopher Abbott in like this tit for tat, and
Yeah.
to the point where like you see his entire flock. They're not killed, but their back legs are all cut off and they're mutilated by some guys in a van that you see.
With Barry Keoghan.
But you don't know it's Barry Keoghan until later on. So he then goes to get vengeance on the people who own that van.
Yeah.
For his dad. His dad's like, bring me his fucking head.
Bring me his fucking head.
Sorry for the accents.
Yeah.
And-
I actually think my Irish accent isn't that bad.
I think it's okay.
Ah,
I think it's
grand.
better than mine.
Yeah. That part wasn't very good. But there you go.
So Chris Abbott goes to get vengeance on the people who he thinks the van is, kills one of the guys and cuts off his head.
And he gets his ear blown off in the meantime by a
Gets
shotgun.
his ear blown off in the meantime as well. And he then goes to Barry Keoghan's house
with a bag in his...
with a head in a bag.
Yeah.
And he goes to get help for his blown off ear from his old girlfriend his old flame/girlfriend from when he was a child, who is now Barry's mother, played by Nora Jane Nguyen, who is very good in the film.
I thought she was quite good. I've never seen her before, but she was very good.
Who plays Caroline. But he then realised when he's knocking, that's when we do the shift and we see all of the same events, but we are giving more information because we see it from Barry Keoghan's perspective.
So we see that he stole the sheep and that he then
cut out their hair and spray paint so that because they're marked with different colours.
So that they don't appear to be
Chris Abbott's.
Yeah, Chris Abbott's. And then after the whole
Mikey.
You know that at the start of the film when they're screaming Michael, I just thought Halloween. There you go.
Yeah.
Michael!
He's evil. Pure evil.
Oh my gosh. Fucking hell. Take the boy to the fucking cellar and leave him there. Throw away the fucking key. Then Barry Keoghan's all like, no one's gonna fucking mug off my dad.
Yeah.
And gets his mate who's played by
his horrible, scummy, greasy mate.
Who's played by the kind of Irish boxing guy from Brassic. Can't remember his name.
Aaron Heffernan.
Yeah, he's very good in Brassic, the TV show.
Yeah, he's good in this because he's playing a horrible, skeevy grease bag.
And they get some money. Basically, one of the sheep's died, so they sell it to some food van person.
In the car crash.
Yeah, in the car crash. And then he's like...
The woman is like...
I'll give you money for £15 for each leg.
€15.
Yeah, €15 for each leg. And Barry Keoghan's like, that's €1,500.
Yeah, for a flock of 100.
Yeah, for a flock of 100.
For a pair of legs.
Yeah.
1,500 for a pair of legs.
Sorry, 15...
it was €15 for a...
Yeah, so 100... so 100...
Yeah, I thought for a moment in the film, and I've just realised it now, I thought that they were making a joke of him doing the maths wrong, because they said for a pair of legs and 100 sheep, that it would be €1,500. But I was like, no, it would be 3,000, because they only took the hind legs, they didn't take the front legs. So Barry was right, but for a moment I was like, oh, he's such a dummy, he can't do maths.
But then there's a scene where they are basically going around cutting the back legs off.
Yes, so they steal these people's van to go do it so they can get all the legs in.
Now, you don't see it fully.
No.
But you see the actors and the sound. That was a point where
you see the wounds beforehand.
Yeah, I had to have a moment.
Yeah.
I struggled with that bit. I don't know why.
Okay.
I really found that grisly. Now, I don't normally get that fussed by stuff.
I found it quite upsetting. I think I was more upset by them in pain earlier, and also I was also like, oh no, the dog. I got upset when the dog got stabbed.
But then, yeah, so they do all that. They take all the legs, and that is it chronologically. And Barry Keoghan gets attacked by Christopher Abbott's dog. He stabs the dog
In self-defense.
in self-defense, but fuck him. He's been a twat.
Yeah.
Don't kill the dog.
Don't kill dogs.
And then Christopher Abbott has to go around and kill all the sheep,
yeah.
which clearly affects him.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then-
Basically doing it to take them out of their misery.
Yeah, take
because
them out of
they've
their
had all
misery.
of their fucking legs cut off.
Yeah.
If they haven't died.
And that's quite a brutal kind
Yeah.
of, like that second half of the film is tough.
It really, like, there's scenes that really hit
Yeah.
hard. Like, there's good stuff, like, before the car chase, like, the confrontation being, like, give me my fucking sheep. I'll
Yeah.
never give you your fucking sheep back.
But-
there's, like, that's good, but then it's, like,
Yeah.
it's the really hard.
But what I
stuff.
like about the one thing I do like about the film is, like, it's not like kind of Cockney gangster like give me my fucking shit back. It's when they say stuff, it's still messy. It's grisly. It's
Yeah.
like the fight he has with the guy where he gets his ear blown off.
Yeah.
When he goes to track down the people he thinks that have killed his sheep and
Yeah.
take their head, he nearly dies.
Yeah.
Very, very nearly
Yeah,
dies.
he does.
And like,
And you see he's like, he goes to like shoot
Yeah.
Barry Keoghan's dad multiple times.
Yeah.
And he wimps out.
Yeah.
Because he can't do
And-
it. He only ends up shooting that guy out of
yeah.
self-defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't do it because he wants to kill him. But
No. He does, but he doesn't. He's
Yeah.
conflicted. Yeah.
and then so he kills someone who's kind of like I think they're like Eastern European workers.
Just
I
some
think.
builder in a
Yeah,
trailer. Yeah.
I think they're referred to in earlier in the film as Eastern European
Oh,
workers.
okay.
But I might be wrong. I think because I think they think it's like Eastern European people that are taking the legs off the sheep in the film.
They'd been doing it to chickens just for the
Yeah.
hell of it, is something that
Yeah,
Cole Meany said.
it's either way. Yeah, there's it's set in a very rural area. Put it that way.
Yes.
And but yeah, so he kills this guy, and he obviously works out that he's not killed the right person. The one character mode thing that I don't understand is the fact that he's walking around with this bag, this sandbag, with a fucking head in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? You realise you're going to go to prison.
Yeah.
You do realise that you are done for the next 20 years.
Like, there was a point where I was just like, how small town, like,
Yeah, is there
feud
no
can
law
this be?
here?
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of old. That is the one thing. I'm like, is this Old West? Like, because there's never any police, there's never any ambulance, there's never any anything.
Yeah. You literally, like, everyone else was like, when they're like feuding over the sheep, they're like, you won't have that fight in here. Get out.
Yeah, it's not.
There's never a point where he just goes, "Hello, police.
Yeah,
he's
they've got
stolen
my
my
sheep."
sheep.
Yeah.
I can show you he's got my sheep. It's like, we
Yeah.
take care of our own around here." Like,
But what I did like is the Cole Meany's response when he gives the head over in the bag.
what the fuck is
He's
that?
like, what the fuck is that? What are you doing? And he's like, I brought you the head you asked for. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh, he didn't actually mean it.
Yeah, or it's
Or he
like,
didn't understand the repercussions of what he actually said.
yeah, and it's also because he's like an ill old man who
Yeah.
like has some sort of dementia,
Yeah.
may not remember what he says all the time, like is a bit in and out of it.
But that is what I did like, is it kind of was very realistic in the sense
Yeah.
of if you do that kind of thing, it's not glorious. It's
No.
not, you don't get anything from the end of it. You
no,
just end up becoming what you are, what you're
Yeah.
fighting against.
I think it was the fact that it just didn't seem to go, like, the whole thing was like he was set up to become his father from the beginning.
yeah.
Who was like seen by his mum as an abusive man. So the film starts. The opening is great.
Yeah. the
Really
opening is
upsetting.
brilliant.
You never see Michael, Chris Abbott's character, driving the car, but it's him
Yeah.
and his mum in the car and his girlfriend in the back. And she's telling him that she's going to leave.
Yes.
And she's going to go live with his aunt, because she can't live with the husband anymore. and
So he crashes it.
he crashes it. You just hear the car speeding up. He never talks, and they just start
Yeah.
screaming his name, and then
Michael.
Michael.
It did remind me of Halloween massively.
Evil, pure evil.
Evil dies tonight. That sounds better with
then
an
you-
Irish accent. Evil dies tonight.
Poetic.
Yeah, thank you.
Sing-songy.
Yes.
Yeah, there's then like as the screams are going, it then just does a hard cut to
Chris Rabbit in his
the
car.
well, it does a hard cut to the grave at the side of the road.
Yeah.
And you just you see that he's just he's been stuck. He never left. He's trying
Looking after his ill father.
looking after his old father. He's trying his best not to be the angry man that his father is, but
Yeah.
you can tell that it's a
there.
struggle for him. But he ends up, he just becomes a puppet. And I think it's not so much like, I do like seeing redemption for characters, but I think it was like just the fact that Caroline, the character, Nora Jane's character, just goes like at the end, "You fucking terrify me, Michael."
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
Because you almost
it
think
just
that-
it became the subtext became text.
Yeah, because you almost think that they might actually get back together again. Because you can very much tell that
Or-
she's still,
She holds a torch.
yeah,
Yeah,
she still cares about him.
yeah, clearly.
And if
Like,
if things had been different, they would have been an item.
yeah,
Because she comes up to him and talks to him at one point. It's like, "I've got an interview today." And
yeah,
he's like, "Oh, grand, where?"
yeah, because she's escaping herself,
yeah,
and
yeah. And she wants to leave. And you can see that he can see that, but yeah, it's
and there are parallels between him and Barry Keoghan's character because like
Yeah.
they go, it's like, how do you deal with these different things and the family trauma?
he is a brat though, isn't he,
Stuff.
Barry Keoghan?
Yeah, he's an ad. Like he deals with it poorly as well.
Yeah, he is a wanker.
Yeah, he is. But then, like when he actually like has a conversation with his mum, and she's like,
Yeah.
you do what you want, but you can come with me. You can stay here, but
yeah.
you do whatever that's going to make you happy. And he sort of but he does start to realize, unlike Christopher Abbott, who carries on down this path of vengeance
Yeah.
even into later life, Barry realizes I can't do like it doesn't actually sit right with me in my heart as much
Yeah.
as I'm angry and upset. Like all of this stuff, all this performative gestures for like my dad's idea of toxic masculinity and things, it's not getting me anywhere. I still feel fucking horrible inside.
Do you think the whole idea, the name of the film? I know that they say in the film, "Bring them." We've never bring them down.
Yeah, and the bringing the sheep inside
Yeah.
off the mountain and putting them in for the winter.
Do you think the "bring them down" is actually a reference to fathers bringing their sons down in terms of like bring them down in their what they could be?
along those lines? Yeah.
Because I
Symbolism.
I do think this.
There
is
are
the kind of film that
multiple
would have that.
layers. Yeah.
There are layers upon layers.
There are layers
It's
upon
like
layers.
an onion.
There is mirroring between the two characters, and also, if this did become a Wolfman film, the poeticism of "Beware the false shepherd, the wolf in sheep's clothing."
I did love the scene where he's carrying the sheep in the darkness. I don't know why.
On his
loved-
head, the other round.
So
yeah.
that is a way that they carry them. They put them on their shoulders.
I got grossed out because he started eating his sandwich after he'd been carrying that fucking mucky sheep. And he's
Cameron,
then eating
that
his
is
hands.
farmer life.
He better have had a little bottle of hand sanitizer
yeah,
on
he's
him.
got his
I
hand
think.
sanitizer.
He's got wet wipes on
I
him.
don't think his stomach will be worried about
Oh
that.
my
I think
God.
he's had much worse. No, I just loved it. I don't know why. I think it kind of had that. It was, I don't know. It just gave him more. I don't know. There was something about the scene and that it allowed it to have its moment that I was like, oh, I like that.
Yeah, it always.
And he wasn't imperfluous to it in terms of you could tell he was struggling on the walk.
yeah,
He's not just this stoic figure that's just bosh, bosh, bosh. Where the fuck do you want this sheep then, boss man? He wasn't having a great time.
Yeah.
He's struggling, but he's still kind of this figure that can, he's at one with the land.
yeah.
Like Barry Keoghan's character's not, because he's like when
He's not a natural.
no,
Yeah.
when Chris Rabbit works out who who killed the sheep, Barry Keoghan tries to run for it.
Yeah.
And he's running through the fields and he keeps like twisting his ankle and stuff.
Yeah.
And Chris Rabbitt's just like gracefully.
Even though he's been fucking shot and beaten up,
he's like just moving over the moors like a hovercraft.
Yeah,
not
you
even-
just like you see him like just take a look at one point like to the left, and he's like, "Oh, it's quicker going up this way."
Yeah.
And like he manages to cut Barry Keoghan off.
Yeah.
I was just like, leave me alone.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
No, I do. I really did like the film.
I really liked it. It was just like that last bit. I was just like,
So should we share the ending? So Barry,
well, we've said it. Yeah.
So Barry Keoghan stabs Chris Rabbit. He tricks him. He does trick him by leaving his coat out. And Chris Rabbit's like,
he does it.
"Ooh,
He
I
does a
think he's
Danny
there."
in The Shining.
Yes.
Footsteps backwards.
And then Christopher. Then they have a little bit of a scuffle, and he's just like, "I just want to know why," or something like that.
You already killed me.
I just want to know why. And I feel like my Irish accent does move around a lot. It's like
I've been mostly northern, I
northeast.
think. Yeah.
I don't really know what it is.
I think mine's mostly northern. Not very good.
And then they kind of like fall over, and the knife that Barry Keoghan's been holding ends up in him.
Yeah.
So, and I thought this because he carries the sheep, and I thought later that's gonna come back, and he carries Barry Keoghan.
Circular nature of
Yes. And he carries Barry Keoghan back to the house, and Barry Keoghan's mum's character is holding a gun, and that's when she's like,
yes, because
"You
she's
terrify
been
me,
into the
Michael."
house and
Yeah.
she's seen the head. I just like it was literally just like that final bit of her holding the gun, that "you terrify me, Michael." I was just like,
Would you rather that she had shot him?
no, I
You know
maybe
what? I think I'd almost rather
think-
he had finished him off, and then she shot him, and then it's like got some
Yeah,
finality.
or
to
like
it.
she just like didn't even like see him holding Barry, and she accidentally shoots Barry, and like it goes
Yeah.
like proper miserable. But then it might get too melodramatic, you know, like she accidentally shoots Barry, and then is like, "What have I done?" And Chris Rabbit's there bleeding out, and she then kills herself, and then he dies as well, and it's just fucking horrible. Cole Meany's had a stroke inside as well, like
Everyone's
yeah. And
the
then
dad then comes along and it's like,
she comes along. Yeah, it's just a
no more divorce.
just a proper tragedy. Yeah,
Or he gets arrested for it all.
yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I felt like
It definitely had I think the problem is it was very lifelike how it ended.
it was.
Yeah.
I think it didn't movie at the ending, but I'm not sure how I would have wanted it to go instead. It was like that. You fucking terrify me. I was like, yeah, I can tell. Like,
You don't need to telegraph it, darling.
you don't need to say it, but it's also like what your character then did
yeah.
action wise for the rest of the film
Yeah.
didn't reflect that always. You seemed warmer to him than like, you know, having that
I
restraint.
do think
yeah.
that's the thing. She did seem very warm to him, but
She did,
I
yeah.
wonder if that's because the character's meant to be like, oh, I'm leaving him. Maybe I might.
Or it's like there's the whole thing of like, you know, where men have the fight or flight,
Yeah.
women have what is it instead?
Not Stockholm syndrome.
No,
I think.
not Stockholm syndrome. It's like reduce.
Yeah. Like calm them down.
Women fight or flight.
I've never heard that.
It is tend and befriend,
Oh.
to like try and you know, subdue things that's instead of that element of it.
Huh.
So trying to like, you know, manage
Yeah.
elements.
Yeah. So
Instead.
if you befriend them, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's like, you know, being messy. We're not the people to talk about this. We're not women.
No, but it could have been. I don't know. I just think it.
Feeling so cautious and on eggshells.
Yeah.
That you don't want to then trigger him because
But
you
then
know
she might
he's an
still-
abusive person.
She might still have feelings for him though.
Yeah. It may be more. Could be feelings, but could be more multi-layered. Where it's like he's caused you. Literally, she's got a scar from the car crash.
There's a line in it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
You don't think she told her own husband who fucked up her face?
Every time he looks at her, he thinks of you.
Yeah.
It's something like that. Because Cole
Yeah.
Meany's character's horrible.
He is.
Yeah. But
should we
Give it a
call
watch.
it there? Yeah, give it a watch. See what you think.
it's on
see
Mubi.
Yeah.
And next time you hear us, we'll be talking about
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
Dum 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 dum
I got it so wrong.
dum.
Did you know that the time signature for that theme is actually in 5/4 time signature?
What does that mean?
It means that you're not in a bar of 4. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Most music is in 4/4.
Oh,
Okay.
what, like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4. 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4.
so it'd be 1, 2,
3, 4.
It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's got like an extra beat
Right,
each
can
time
you
it
tell
repulses
me,
it.
are you able to tell me live
Okay.
on the podcast, not that it's live, but are you able to tell me what does a conductor do?
A conductor manages time and also volume and feeling. They're basically instructing which instruments. Basically, the conductor's role is they take the 120-piece orchestra and they're playing them as if they're an instrument.
Okay.
So one hand is keeping time.
Yeah.
So the hand that has the stick,
Yeah.
that's doing the time.
Oh my gosh, they're multitasking.
And then the other hand is like they're pointing out at people.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to control different areas of the orchestra pit at different times to bring out certain meanings and things. So like
Is
you
that
have
why
your
it's
different
so
sections.
hard to do to conduct?
Yeah. Because it's like you have to have ears on everything.
Although
And you're
did-
multitasking and
Yeah. I watched
and when they're doing like that and things like
Yeah.
they're trying to control the volume, that's very much not good for the audio podcast. But I was waving
wiggling
my hand,
his hand,
wiggling my hand
because
with the
didn't
stick
Bradley
post.
Cooper train for allegedly 6 years to do that
For
film? that he-
Maestro,
yeah, Maestro.
I really loved Maestro. when I
So
watched
I've
it.
only watched the scene where he is conducting.
Mm.
Because it's like it's meant to be the pinnacle of all musical kind of, and I'm just like, I literally feel so.
You've
kind
got to
of-
watch the whole thing. It's very
No,
much
I
you're
know,
not going to
but-
feel it because it's very much a character
No, but
piece.
even kind of listening to the music that it allegedly is. So I listened to the bit of music that he conducted, and I'm like, I'm give or take on it.
Okay.
But is it like fit film? Is it, if you're-
It's a character piece. It's fully
Yeah.
all about him.
No, but I
Leonard
mean
Bernstein.
the music that he was conducting, because it was meant to be like the most amazing thing ever. Wasn't
Well,
it?
it's just whether you like it. He did West Side Story, Leonard Bernstein.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
When you're a jet, you're a
Jet-
jet. Oh.
Jack was in West Side Story in school, if you didn't know, everybody.
Let me say when I was in, I got my lines wrong on the first night.
Oh, did you?
Doing the Officer Krupke song.
Oh.
Went shit in front of everyone.
Oh, that's all right, mate. I don't remember watching it and thinking you got your lines wrong.
Did you watch it?
I went to one of the performances because my sister was in it as well.
She?
Yeah.
No, she wasn't.
Yes, she was. Yeah. She had dark hair, so they probably made her a Puerto Rican.
Yes, no, she was. Yes. You're 11. Wow.
Yeah, she would have been. Yeah.
Wow. Gosh.
Interesting. I went to go see West Side Story on my last night in Sydney,
Yes.
and I watched it. It was shown on the harbour with the
Yes.
harbour bridge and the opera house in the background.
Yes. What, the
outside.
film?
No, the an actual
Oh,
play.
wow.
It was stunning.
Yeah,
it was
it
brilliant.
is an amazing play.
The guy who played Tony
Yeah.
was excellent. Like genuinely, like everyone in the audience was like, "This guy's fucking unreal." Like
Yeah.
he got the biggest claps like at the end of every song.
What's your favourite song in it?
Probably from when I just saw it, the Maria.
Yeah.
Like, it's soft and it sounds like praying.
I do like that one.
Yeah.
I like I Feel Pretty.
That is a fun one. What a bop.
It's just, it's so good. I feel pretty.
Yeah,
feel
pretty.
Because Natalie Wood was dubbed when they made it originally.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes, very good.
Because the Best Supporting Actor and Best Supporting Actress both won the Oscar.
Yeah, and well, someone got it for Best Supporting Actress
Yes.
again recently.
Yes.
Ariana DeBose, was it?
Remember.
Maybe. Meh.
Not seen
I
it.
don't know. I really want to watch it because I love Spielberg, and
Well, maybe when we've got a blank week, we should watch it. And
yeah, because it's long.
yes.
Yeah.
Not yet.
But I loved seeing it. The stage production. I was asked by a certain someone if we could do musicals as an episode at some point, and I said we're not
Yes.
against it at all.
No, we could do La La Land or Sweeney Todd, Dim, Barbara Fleet Street.
I've never watched a Sweeney Todd, but La La Land's one of my favourite films.
Well, we could do either or.
No in between.
Yes.
No other options.
others. I will not do any other. You know what we could do?
Yes.
It's a musical. It's a film that you haven't seen. It's rather, dubious.
What is it? What film?
What a new film.
What a new film.
Yes.
What a new film with
Joker Polydor.
I've not. Yes, we should. I think she'll be very upset.
Yes.
Maybe
we should do more.
She's 100% listening to this. I'm sorry.
Are we going to have to do like Mamma Mia?
No. She
okay.
wants us to do like Chicago or Moulin Rouge or La La Land's one of her favorites.
I've never seen Chicago or Moulin
You've
Rouge.
never seen Chicago?
No.
Chicago's fantastic. If you watch Chicago, we'll be able to review that. Not next time because we're doing Mission Impossible.
Yes.
But I rewatched it recently enough that I could do a talk on it.
Yes.
Chicago's great, and I've never seen Moulin Rouge. We're going to watch Moulin Rouge. So there we go.
Why do I laugh? Right, I'm hungry. I need to get some.
Yes, this was going to be a quick one. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you to Erin for the movie. If you like us, please share us with your friends. Follow us on Instagram at the Celluloid Cellar podcast. Send us an email at thecelluloidcellar@gmail.com. Follow us on Letterboxd at Celluloid Cellar. Have a bloody good time, and we'll see you next time for Mission Impossible.
Dum dum.
Da da dum dum.
Da da.
Goodbye.